Hey everybody, it's me, Eric Conley, Garrett County 4-H Youth Development Agent, and this is another episode of On the Ground. I started doing these about a year ago and have loved every second of it, and thank goodness yesterday was spring, and even though things have already started to come up, I've already done one about snow trillium, but I'm so glad that it's warm today. I'm in a spot where there's a ton of people, so if there's traffic that goes by, then I apologize. So the plant that I'm looking at today, I'm actually in the Red River Gorge today, and this is one that's common all over the place. This is actually not a native plant. This is one that's more typically found. It's a native to Europe and Western and Central Asia, but was brought over here. There's some speculation about whether it was brought over here due to medicinal reasons. So I thought I would touch on this plant, and let me kind of shade. Hopefully you all can see that one there. It looks very similar to a daisy, something that you might see in your yard, okay, like a dandelion, but this one is not. The scientific name for this one is Tussilago farfara, okay, or farfara. F-A-R-F-A-R-A, okay? The common name for it is Colt's foot, all right? And so just to give you a couple of bits of information about it. Number one, let's do the etymology. So the etymology is tussis, and I'll do the, I'll focus on the genus because I don't know as much about the species name, but Tussilago, so tussis comes from cough, so you've heard of Robitussin before, so tussis means cough, and that's Greek. And then the other part of that, ago, A-G-O, means cast or to act on. So this one originally had, there was a number of medicinal uses for it, and we'll talk a little bit more about those here in just a second. So where do you typically find it? So this one is typically found in like disturbed places, on the side of the road, or there's a ton of it along the side of the road here in the gorge, and so you may drive by or walk by and see along the side of the road these tufts of yellow flowers that look very similar to dandelions. So, but these are actually colt's foot. So a couple more things about this plant. It comes up via rhizomes. The reason it's called colt's foot is because of the leaves. And there's no basal leaves on this particular one that I'm looking at here, but I'll try and take some still images of the leaves, and it's supposed to look like a colt's foot, okay? And so I'll let you all see what those are. So like I said before, it was supposed to have medicinal properties, but there's been a discovery of what is called pyrrolizidine alkaloids, and those pyrrolizidine alkaloids are Pyrrolizidine, okay, so it's the new spelling word for the day. So those particular alkaloids are actually a defense that a number of plants use. So there's some that are in the Asteraceae family, which this one is in. Also in the orchid group, some in that, Lamiaceae, which are some of the mints. So there's a number of groups that actually have that particular alkaloid in them, and the purpose of it is actually the plant's defense. It's almost like a defense against insect herbivores. So a really kind of cool plant defense. And so a couple more things about it. So it was, once again, medicinally, they thought it was used for to protect against things like a cough and a fever, rheumatism, gout even. So there was a number of things that it was used for. It's actually been used in candy. There's just a number of uses that this was attributed to this particular kind of plant. A couple more things about it. It does spread via seed, but it also spreads, like I said, via rhizome, which are those underground stems that you know, it'll spread around, especially here. And if I show you all, I'll try and take a picture of what I'm looking at behind the camera, which is just kind of a big cluster of them. And you'll usually find them in clusters like this. Hairy stems, which you all can't see, but you may be able to see. I don't know if you can or not, but you also see these what appear to be leafy-like attachments that are on the edges there. And then, of course, the floral structure up here, which is, if you remember from previous editions of this, we talked about asters, and now they have what are called ray flowers and disc flowers. And so the ray flowers are all of these things that you see out here, and then the disc flowers are what you see there in the middle, okay? This one is actually in a subgroup of the aster family, and I think it's the daisy group of the aster family. So there's a number of lepidopterans, and that's an insect order. And Lepidoptera are things like moths and butterflies. Not things like, but they are moths and butterflies. And there's some larvae that actually feed on this. And then, of course, honeybees and things like that will collect nectar from it as well. So really cool plant. Although it's not native, it's one of those, another one of those early spring wildflowers that you see. And, I'm always excited just to see that spring is just around the corner. So if you ever have any questions about any of the videos that I'm doing, feel free to reach out to me at the Garrett County 4-H Facebook page, or you can reach out to me as well via my email address, which is eric, eric.comley, COMLEY, at UKY, as in the University of Kentucky, .edu. Okay, so uky.edu. So I'm going to keep looking around here and see if I can find anything else. But I hope that you all have enjoyed it, and thank you all so much. This is Eric Comley, Garrett County 4-H Youth Development Agent, and this has been On the Ground. Thank you all.